What was it like being an officer in the 90s in that time period? Like, was that way different than you think it is now?
Yes, I think so. I mean, obviously, the rate of shootings in Boston was much higher then. I forget what our highest homicide rate was in the early 90s. It might have been like 150, 160 people. Now Boston has like 35 a year. So it's a big difference. It's become much safer, whether the gangs kind of aged out and they all went to jail or, got shot or moved on in life, whatever happened, it became much safer, I'd say.
Well, there's no money in being in a gang either. I think a lot of people are like, oh, this is a shitty business, This says 1990, the homicide peak. Boston's homicide count hit an all-time high of 152 cases, with much of the violence concentrated among youth and involving firearms. The spike was driven by gang violence, crack cocaine epidemic, and easy access to handguns.
Yeah, so the 90s are a little different than now, for sure.
Compared to then, how do you feel like police work is different between now and then? Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, the whole community policing aspect started when I was new, so that's kind of still progressed along. I think
what does that mean, community policing?
Well, that's what they call it. At the time, they had walking beats. So when I got on, you wouldn't be in a cruiser, like you'd walk the neighborhood, kind of like they do in New York City. They have people walking around. There's not a lot of cruisers. And so they would put people in certain parts of the city. Like when I got on, for example, and I worked in Dorchester, I think there were like 7 or 8 walking beats up and down like kind of the main street in the town. And now, there's only a couple, and they just put those on again. So they're kind of trying to get back to that. So that was very different. Like people who did the walking beats full time, like knew everyone in the neighborhood. That was the whole purpose, is to get people into the neighborhood so people feel comfortable speaking to the police. Except the neighborhoods where they put the walking beats were usually the worst neighborhoods, and people didn't give a shit. They didn't want to talk to us. So
it didn't matter anyway.
No, not the parts of the city where they had them. Now it's different. They don't have as many walking beats at all. They push a lot of the social media stuff, like the dancing cops is the fucking worst. It's so cringy. And the department, all the police departments do that. They put it out to try to be like, look, we're excessive. Oh, see, it's so embarrassing.
Oh, I haven't even seen this.
It's so goddamn cringy.
Are these real cops?
That's usually I don't know about them. Yeah, it says they are.
Oh my!
Well, at least they can dance. Like when our department puts it out, it's like she's like, right, cops like, oh, we're playing basketball with the kids, and let's all do, especially during COVID. It's so cringy. They just put out one the other day for female women police law enforcement day, and they had like women dancing, and some of my girlfriends and I sent it back and forth. Like, this is so
Who wants to see? Dude, the last thing I want is my cop dancing over there.
Is that what you're looking for when you call for help? Someone to show up and start dancing? Like, you want someone who's gonna give you a hand?
Yeah.
It's just, I know they're trying to soften their image. They don't want to look like paramilitary anymore. They want to look friendly and not scary and whatever. Whether it works or not long term, I don't know.
Yeah. How much does the DA, you mentioned having a DA, what is that like? Do police work better under certain mayoral and district attorney leadership?
Yeah.
They do? What's that whole relationship like? Like, break it down for me what that's like.
Well, obviously things are very politically charged right now, more so than they've been in the past, I think, in my experience. So it depends on if your mayor is supportive or not. Historically, I mean, I had several mayors on in 31 years as a police officer, and some are more supportive than others. And some DAs get elected that are just like, oh, we're not going to make vandalism is no longer a crime. Larceny is no longer a crime. Shoplifting is no longer a crime. Well, the people in the stores are still calling us when someone's stealing $10,000 worth of shit, but the DA's like, not prosecuting. So now that's why shit's locked up in all these stores. It's the DAs who are like, whether it's the Soros DAs or whoever the fuck they are that got elected that are softer on crime or whatever, that's your job as a district attorney, to prosecute crimes. And those are state laws on the books. So if those laws are still on the books, then why aren't you prosecuting it? So that's why shit is locked up in CVS, because people can indiscriminately steal all over the country. They're not getting prosecuted. We had one guy, it was him and his brother doing it. They were like 2-man wrecking team. Every CVS and Walmart, Walgreens, we added up just like one kid in 1 month. It was like $30,000 worth of shit he stole. Now, how is Target or CVS recouping that? They're not. That's gone. But the DA doesn't care. So if you have right now, there's a good DA in Boston, I think, and he's doing more to make, working with the officers as a team. Like, we're on the same team here. We're just trying to prosecute criminals and help victims. And if the DA is not supportive of that. Like, what about all those victims whose houses are getting broken into or their properties vandalized?
Yeah.
And the DA is like, yeah, we're not going to prosecute that crime anymore. Well, what about the people whose shit's getting stolen and ruined or whatever? Like, don't you care about them?
Right. And don't you care about how they feel then about their city and about their country?
Yeah.
And then you guys are the ones that have to deal with it on the street level.
Everyone hates us.
They take it out on you, but still, if someone hates the mayor, they take it out on the police. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you guys kind of can't probably speak up on it sometimes because you're in a position where you're working under that regime.
Yeah.
I think about that about the border too sometimes with like, people illegally coming across the border. And then people can have whatever thoughts they want about people coming over, right? I think everybody needs to be legally documented that's here, however they figure that out. But but the people that matter whose opinion matters most to me are the people who live right. What about the guy right there?
What about the border town?
Who's trying to put his kids to sleep at night and they want to be able to feel safe that just because they bought a house somewhere, that there's not people running through their neighborhoods, whether those people have good intentions or bad, but just with the fear, the fear that it puts in their families.
Yes, exactly. It's all quality of life stuff. It's all quality of life issues, and they don't seem to get that because it doesn't bother them if they're living in some multi-million-dollar house somewhere or a nicer part of the city or state. It's not happening around them. Like you said, the people in the border towns, they don't have a choice. Yeah,
it's especially what about the guy who's worked at CVS for 20 years and he loves it, right? And he loves seeing people come in and he loves that's something he knows some of the older people. He's watched them get older and come in and get their medicine. He's watched one of them lose their spouse over the years and now they come in alone. But he's like a smile in their life once in a while when they come in. And now he has to be a deterrent to crime.
Yeah, they come in with trash bags.
Yeah. Oh, it's unbelievable.
And literally just clear the shelf. They go and sell all their stolen shit at like the smaller bodegas and convenience stores. So when they steal all the detergent and, all that, they steal and baby formula, that's been locked up for years. They go and sell it someplace else.
I mean,
and
the
bodegas
so skinny.
is buying it off them. They know it's stolen shit, so they're at fault too.
Yeah.
But like I said, the employee... What about him? Like, he doesn't want to do that when he goes to work.
No. And then he's
not a cop. He doesn't want to do that.
He's not a cop.
Yeah, he doesn't want to chase people.
Yeah, that's the thing. They've made it so that almost every person has to feel like a cop. And then also that that there's not a lot of support out there. And that's a sick thing. And our government does that from the top down. And I believe that there is a reason they do that. They want to erode a sense of community and they want to erode a sense of normalcy. And they're doing it.
Yeah.
Who's the mayor that they have now over there that's been supportive, do you feel like, Kara?
We haven't had a supportive mayor. That's the DA, Kevin Hayden. He's supportive. Okay. Our mayor, I don't.
Hayden, boy, out of Newton, huh? What's Newton like? Is it good over there?
Newton's a very, very nice city outside. It's a different city than Boston.
Down in Newton over there. I definitely caught some.
Newton's high end.
Newton is?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Newton.
It's big money to live in Newton.
Fig Newton, they call it, huh?
It's big money to live there.
Oh, God, look at that. Bunch of people probably.
Yeah, he's from there. I think he lives in the city now. He's Suffolk County. He's not attached to the city. He's Suffolk County.
Over there,
but our prior DA was atrocious.
I bet every kid over there has a signed Tom Brady football, huh? That's that kind of place.
Well, he lived in Chestnut Hill, which is part of Brookline and Newton. It's like all sandwiched right in that neighborhood there.
TV12,
he lived in Chestnut Hill.
Yeah, I bet all those kids have that, dude. How has the DA support been over the years? So this is a district attorney now?
Yeah, he's good.
Was he during your term?
He was there when I retired, yeah.
He was appointed by Charlie Baker, preceded by Rachel Rollins.
Yeah, thumbs down on her.
Oh, she was another district attorney?
Yeah.
And now, so she
became a U.S. attorney under Biden, and then she was, I believe, fired from U.S. attorney with some ethics violation or some such.
Oh, Biden would hire anybody. He was asleep. You fucking dude.
Well,
he was fucking, dude would hire Fred Flintstone to
someone
fucking
on
sing him
his
to bed at
staff
night.
thought she was a good fit.
So
I'm sorry. She resigned before she was canned.
Rachel Rollins was not formally fired, but resigned from her position in May 2023 following multiple ethics investigations. And I don't know exactly what happened here, but what's it like from one DA to like how can a DA
she's the one that decided we weren't going to prosecute larcenies, shoplifting, vandalism, the minor crimes. And she used to say those aren't right. Those aren't. I forget what verbiage was used. It was like they're not victimless crime, but they're trying to say that. No, they're not. Even if it's CVS or Target, a big corporation, they're still losing millions of dollars.
Totally victim.
It was her. She she was one of the ones that was not supportive.
And do you think it's a DA in that space? Do you think she's making her own choices, or do you think that's coming down from a higher? Allegedly, do you think it's coming down? Because it just seems crazy to say we're not going to prosecute crime.
How do you do that?
It's fucking.
It's a state law. How do you decide what you're?
During her campaign, Rollins pledged to decriminalize certain offenses such as shoplifting, drug possession, wanton or malicious destruction, or property, drug possession with intent to distribute. What?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's why Mass and Cass, you've heard of the part of Boston. I don't know if you've heard of the part of Boston called Mass and Cass. It is a disaster down there. There's drug addicts everywhere. They're all over the streets. They're destroying property. There's needles all over the city in South End and that area. It's kind of, it was focused there, and now they've tried to kind of break it up the last few years because it was insane. And now they've pushed it out. Yeah, there was 10 cities down there. Look at this shit.
Yeah, and look, and some people say this is just a bill.
They have safe shoot-up zones there. They're letting them shoot up heroin in safe places.
Oh, yeah.
So now the needles are all over the South End, and the poor people in the South End, they pay a lot of money to live there. There's beautiful brownstones, and now there's people shitting in their front yards, throwing needles everywhere, breaking it. Say a guy was breaking into a house while it was under construction, the second floor. This was just a few weeks ago. And there's a guy's family's there with his kids, and they had like an old key or something, and they were breaking in and going to like shit in the floor on the second floor that was under construction. He went up, and there's like a pile of human shit in his house. He's like, what is going on? They put up cameras. The guy was going in and out every night to like sleep on the floor in his house under construction, and then shit on the floor.
It's like the emoji or whatever.
Yeah, like what is wrong with you?
What?
So that part of the city, I feel bad for people who live down there.
Oh,
that's Atkinson Street.
Yeah.
It's
where is it?
It's Atkinson Street. It's near the jail.
Yeah. Well, and look, and a lot of people say this is just a Bill's tailgate or something over here. I'm not saying that. Some people say this is a Pinto tailgate. I'm not saying that. What we're saying is that this is a lot of drug use that's happening over there in this town in Boston.
Yeah.
But here's another thing, though. They have this everywhere now.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Every city has this.
Every democratically run city, I think. Yeah. I could be wrong.
Well, we don't have one here. I know that. I hope not anyway. I don't know.
Austin got ruined.
Austin
was a blast. And I took my daughter there several years. I'd been there 10 years ago, and I was like, this is the coolest place. Reminds me of here a little bit, like 6th Street where all the bars used to be. Yeah. And then I went back a few years later because my daughter's way into music. I wanted to take her. And she was afraid to get out of the car. There were homeless people sleeping in hammocks strung from street signs in the street, and it was just rampant. Before if you were homeless, you got arrested there.
Yeah.
Which isn't the best thing, but you got to do something. They're like throwing bricks through all the windows that have been there a long time. Austin got ruined. And Seattle's a shithole. Portland.
Yeah. Portland is, I'll have to sneeze, but Portland is a shithole, but also it's awesome. I will say this.
Yeah, I was up there when I do landscape photography as a hobby, or used to, and I went up to Oregon and Washington, and it's the coolest place. Like Portland's it's such a cool vibe, you know. And
but yeah, I do think that element that's out there. It's like, why are we? It's like,
I don't know their end game. Like, what is the point of ruining all these cities?
Because I think they want it to they want us to deteriorate. They want us to have no sense of purpose, right? They want us to like not have any pride in the places where we are because they've been so riddled. They get people addicted. You know, the opioid epidemic was put on America and was allowed to occur, right? They want
it wasn't like that when I was young.
No, they want this to happen.
Yeah.
It's no doubt to me that this is an organized agenda.
Yeah, I don't get it.
But I believe that people can fight back, and I believe that...
I think it started a little bit.
I think so, and I hope so. And also, it gives you a sense of purpose in the world. It's like, you're here to defeat evil, you know? Yeah. And we all can be a part of that, and I think it's something that makes us feel that way. But if we go back to, like, working the beats in Dorchester when you were starting, like, there's a better way to do it, right? There's a better way we can be.
Yeah, people have to be human beings, but there's a lot of people that aren't. They're pieces of shit. For whatever reason, whether it's poverty or their upbringing or drugs, fucks up families to no end. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. It's not what we're doing.
Right. I wonder if it's what we are doing or what is being done to us that's having more of an effect on us, or probably some.
Well, yeah, when we can't control it, people are going to be pieces of shit and bad. Like, that's not our fault. That's not your fault. We didn't do anything. We're just going about our business, having a job, getting up in the morning, going to work or whatever.
Yeah.
the people that choose to, I'm just going to fucking rob this person. Some people are just bad people.
Yeah.
Some people end up that way because of the way they're raised, and some people are just fucking bad.
They really are.
It's the way they are.
Yeah, and I think sometimes we do get caught in this space of like, oh, we have to recuperate everybody and we got to save everybody. Right.
There's real victims out there.
Right.
And it's not them. It's not those guys.
That's a good point.